Hey there. So before we import your content, you need to decide if you want your content watermarked. And watermarking is just going to be, I'm going to show you an example of a logo, just like this, being added to all of your content. It can be a logo, it can be a website, whatever. It can be your picture, whatever you'd like to do. And we're going to give you a way. You're just going to upload it right here. But it would need to be optimized. I want to show you why. You know, if you followed me for any length of time, I'm big on the why. So here you'll see that our logo happens to have a background. Most of the time, your logo is going to have a clear background. And when you drop a colored text onto posts, it's not going to, it's like this is an example of a dark. So if this didn't have the white background, this green and purple would not show up on that. All right, and here's a light one. It would have a hard time competing. So we suggest to use like a white circle and put your logo in it. So that being said, we have underneath this post, there's a link to click to get a Canva template, and it will open this up and ask you if you want to use this Canva template. Inside this Canva template, there are 6 different styles. All right. I want you to notice that these are pushed away from the edge. Please leave this edging around here. All of these are like this. This is going to create this, instead of it being all up against the edge of the image, it's going to leave some padding here. So you'll want to keep that in mind. All right. So our logo, so I'll use this one here. Let's just create a new page here. All right, so if we were to use ours and we just did this and we put it across here and we're going to take it to the size. Again, this is not going to work because on a dark post, you're not going to be able to read this purple. All right, so I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to take this size and you're just going to have to play with it. Again, we're optimizing this for what will work best with your logo. Okay, if you decide to watermark it, you may decide not to watermark it. You can. We do have a workaround that you can watermark them inside Canva as you go, but it is more labor intensive. Okay, so if I were happy with this logo, if this was anyone's logo and I was happy with it, I can now download. This is page 5. So I'm going to choose transparent. This is the most important part of this. Transparent. I'm going to turn all of these off except for 5. You can delete the ones that you don't need, is fine. This is this will be yours to do with what you want. You can always come back here and download it again if you need it. It'll just make a copy for you. All right, so I'm going to download this. It's going to ask me to save it somewhere on my computer. And I will do just that. All right, so that has downloaded now. You'll see it in my little tray here, and I'm going to show you what you can do with it in a few minutes. But I wanted to show you again. We most of the time like a circle. So I'm going to show you someone else's logo. So if I click this, what I would do to make this work, and the circle is just almost always the best. Okay, so I'm going to take all of this down. This happens to be a small logo. Yours most likely won't be this small. All right, so that's about the size that I would like. Well, actually, we'll go a little bit smaller. But notice how it's going to hang out of the circle some. All right, so if you don't have Canva Pro, you are going to need to make sure that you trim it as close as you can and you keep it within the circle. Otherwise, it just looks bad. Okay. All right, so that's as close as I can get it. It's going to hang out of the picture. If you have Canva Pro, you can do effects. You can do background remover. And you can take the background out. All right. So with this said, there's a restore here. You're going to notice these are they're not popping as much. See, when I go back, I'm restoring this white on this. And to make sure not to go very far. Because remember, we're trying to keep this circle. This is where we were having the problem, was that little piece. All right, and then I can hit done. All right, and now you'll see that if I click off there, that it works now. All right, same thing. I can download and then upload into your system. One last way to do this is to drag this here. You will see that this is not nearly big enough, but if I take this and I drag this way, this eliminates the need to have Canva Pro, okay? This is really easier, in my opinion, to do it this way, all right? And then I can just go ahead and go with that, and again, download. So once it's downloaded, you're going to come to the dashboard. You're going to upload your image, and I am going to find where I saved it. And it is this watermark template. And you'll see that it's going to look super small. And this is because of the size that we set it. This is pretty true to size. So you're going to come up and you're never going to go past this. Okay. You're never going to do this. Okay. You're never going to come past this edge right here. Okay. All right. So I usually do something like this. All right. And again, I understand that some people might not want this background, but it is going to look much better on dark posts. All right. You can choose, another area, but you will cover up text if you do that. Okay. So we're going to go with the bottom right. Once you get it in, you're going to watermark by default and then hit save changes. All right. And then when we import the content for you, it will automatically be branded. All right, so you're going to go to the content library and you would see it here. And I'm actually going to show you, in this case, what this would look like. I can edit this. This is a workaround that we have, that if you choose for it not to come in watermarked, you can, I would have to save this image, put it MVP. I can add an image, upload the image. Oops, well, there's MVP. Or I can also do this. See how that is another way to add an image. All right, and then because it's watermarked, this toggle is on. It will watermark for you. To see it, you will have to refresh the page. That is a big deal in the dashboard. Sometimes you will need to refresh the page. And then now you'll see that it's watermarked. The first one is not watermarked. The second one is watermarked. But if you do that before we import your content, then all of the content will automatically be watermarked. All right. So choose whether you'd like to. You can always reach us on this chat if you're having any problems with getting your logo. The place to add your logo is you click the sprocket or the gear here, and then you go to publishing and then watermark. All right. If you do change your logo in the future, it does not change your logo on the posts that are already uploaded, because it is a watermark. A watermark just brands and flattens it to the image. So that is another reason to decide about how the watermarking will work for you. All right, now that you have all the facts, you can decide if you want to do it. There is one other. If you go back to the content library, I will open this once more. I just want you to have all of the facts when it comes to watermarking. So here's one other way to do this. If I click copy image, so I right clicked, copied image, I'm going to hit add image. We have the Canva integration. I'm choosing Instagram post. And I am going to, you cannot right click and paste. It's going to tell you, I'll do it to show you, that you have to hit the keys Control and V, and then it will paste it here. Once you do that, you definitely need to snap it to the guides. All right, you need to make sure that you don't run outside of the image. And then from here, you can just go to uploads. You can find your logo. There's our normal logo that we would use, and you can just pop it on there. So you could do this technically, and let's just say you want to mix it up. You want to put it on this side, you can totally do that. And just to reiterate the fact of why you would not want a background, not have a background, is because it would look like that. You cannot read this. Okay, that's just a perfect example. So if I hit Save Media, it's going to prepare the design, bring it back in, and in this case, you must turn off the watermark, or it's going to have two. It would have one on this side and one on this side. And I'm going to hit Update. And then once I do that, I have to refresh the page. And here is my post. And you'll see no watermark, watermark, and then the new watermark that I did with Canva. So those are all your options. If you have any further questions about that, be sure to hit the chat and we can help you get that sorted. All right, thank you, and on to the next video.